Here, since we have discussed this divisibility rule of involving two co-prime numbers, then why not solve a problem here? It's time to solve a problem here. And just focus on this problem. The problem is a number is divisible by both 5 and 12. By which other number will that number be always divisible? A number is divisible by both 5 and 12. That means that we are talking about a common multiple, because if any number is divisible by two numbers, then that is a common multiple of those two numbers. In this case, the 5 and 12 are that two numbers. By which other number will that number be always divisible? Can you relate it to the discussion we just did here? Right? So if you focus here, you can see that 5 and 12 are two co-prime numbers. 5 and 12, these two are co-prime numbers. And this number that we are talking here is representing the common multiple, because only common multiple can be divisible by both these two, 5 and 12. Okay, by which other number will that number be always divisible? Now can you relate to here that we say that only and always, right? So in this case, 15 was the only number, and always, it will always. So 15 is only number that can divide other common multiples, right? And that's what exactly this problem is about. That 5 and 12 are two co-prime numbers. It's asking that a number is divisible by both 5 and 12. So suppose there is a that is a common multiple. Suppose a is a common multiple of these two co-prime numbers, common multiple, and it's asking by which other number will that number be always divisible. So it's basically asking that what other common multiple is possible that can divide any other number. Okay, so here the first common multiple will be what? 5 times 12. So this will be 60. So the first common multiple is 60. What about the next common multiple? So the next common multiple will be 60 times 2, and that will be 120. So 120. What will be the next common multiple? That will be 60 times 3, that is 180, and therefore you'll get 180. And that's exactly what we discussed here. What will be the next common multiple? So next common multiple will be 60 times 4, and that will be 240, and here it is 240, and you can go on calculating. So you take any number, suppose let's take 120. Yes, 120 is a common multiple, and 120, since is a common multiple, therefore it is divisible by both by 3 and 5, and there is only and only one number, that is 60, that can divide 120, right? 180 cannot divide 120. Now let's take this 180. 180 is a common multiple. 180 can be a number that is divisible by both 5 and 12. By which other number will that number be always divisible? Of course 60. That is the first common multiple of 3 and 5. There is no other number that can always divide this. Even if you take 240 as a common multiple, and 240 is a number which is divisible by both 5 and 12, by which other number will that number be always divisible? Of course 60. That is the first common multiple of 3 and 5. And that's what exactly we had discussed here. That if two co-prime numbers are present, then the first common multiple will be the product of those two co-prime numbers, and the rest all common multiples can be calculated from the first common multiple, and therefore 15, that is the first common multiple, is the only number that will always divide any other number that is divisible by 3 and 5 both, that is a common multiple. So here 5 and 12 co-prime numbers, the first common multiple is 5 times 12, therefore 60, and rest all common multiples can be calculated. And if you take any number that is divisible by both 5 and 12, that is, you take any common multiple, that will always be divisible by 60.